On your left, Jack Buchanan, goalie. In the middle, Brian Von Bogen. Coach Jenny on your right. Coach, whenever you're ready, comments on tonight's game.
I am I'm awfully proud of how resilient our guys were tonight. I don't know if everybody quite understands how good Vermont's offense is. You know, those guys, sometimes you look at a record and you go, okay. Those guys have put up a lot of points and they can sling it around. And with only one day to really prepare, that's a tall task. When we went down, I guess 12-11 with, then we let the clock run down a little bit, think if we can get a goal without calling a timeout. And then around ball out of bounds, we called a timeout, and we had put in an opening play, and we ran it again, and Sam threw an alley-oop up to Josh Byrne. The two guys just making a play. Those two guys, they've been struggling the last two games, and those guys made a huge play for us. And then we get it to overtime, and you know, a guy sitting to my right here has had a big year so far, and I'm awfully proud of the way he's reacted. We had some tough things not go our way through the course of preparing for this game. Chris Clark wasn't feeling 100%. Obviously, we had a bunch of face-off violations that led to a lot of man-ups. And when you talk about a lot of man-ups to a team that is very offensively oriented and Canadian-like, that's difficult to do. And our defense stood up, especially our man down towards the end. And Jack came up with a bunch of great saves. But awfully proud of every one of those guys. The ground ball stat, I'm proud of. Obviously, there's some other stats that I'm not so proud of, but the final stat of it's a win, and Hofstra University's men's lacrosse program is 5-3 after coming off of 2 tough losses. So awfully proud of their resiliency. Questions?
Can Brian just tell us what happened on the game-winning goal, whether it was a set play or just something that you saw?
Well, we had a set play in, and it didn't work, right? We moved the ball around, and then we got our look, and it wasn't there. And during that set play, I got a short stick on me, and my teammates cleared where I wanted to go, and my shot fell.
We played offense after that, you know, so we did have a little bit of a look to try to get someone open, but I have to continue the flow, and Brian found it, and, you know, he stepped up.
Coach, you talk about the extra man opportunity. You guys have been struggling so far all season. 2 for 2 today.
So proud of those guys. It is you know, it's a tough thing that we're going through, and we've got some talented players, and I wouldn't trade one of our guys. They are, and after what they did tonight, unbelievable. But the man up to be 2 for 2, there was no room for error when you win in overtime. Yeah, we had to be 2 for 2, and those guys did a great job. And they were shutting Josh, and I think Kavanaugh got one to the both on man up, and you know, the ball movement allowed the crease to open up a little bit, and Brendan Kavanaugh, we found him twice.
Brian has scored more goals this year than he had for his career coming into this year. So what's been the difference in Brian's career that allowed him to have such a good year?
Can we have a little humor here?
Always.
Bad coaching the first 3 years. I'm just doing a really good job this year. Brian's playing really focused right now, and that's just the answer. You know, you have, when you're a freshman, you just want to play. You know, you're a sophomore and a junior, you're kind of just following the lead, waiting for your turn. When you're a senior, you want to win. And Brian wants to win. He knows the sand is ticking through the hourglass, and I couldn't be more proud of him on how he is. He's got a long way to go. You know, we've got 6 games to go, and hopefully more after that. And he's not letting up just yet. Awfully proud.
Brian, what do you think? Is there anything different in your game?
No, I just feel like I'm playing with confidence, and like Coach, you said, that hourglass is ticking. I don't want any opportunity to slip away.
Midfielders, coach, have really come up big today. Ryan Bargain, 4 goals. Corey Hendrickson, a hat trick, and Brendan Kavanaugh, 2 goals. Just speak about their play and how big they've stepped up.
Yeah, that first midfield, they did a really good job against Providence as well. And, you know, we didn't shoot well at the attack during the Providence game. And I will tell you that, you know, Sam and Josh Byrne, they had 3 goals and 3 assists between them. That's what our players need to do. And if we had 3 and 3 in some of those other games from those guys, then maybe they would be different. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. We got to learn from the past, and we have to hopefully try to positively affect the future. Again, there's no celebration tonight. A little one in the locker room. We got St. John's, you know, a Long Island rival, and it's going to be a bear. They're a talented team. Nice Peterzo. They're a talented team, and we have to cut this one loose and on to the next one.
Jack, another big game, 14 saves. What were you seeing from Vermont offense?
Vermont, they've got a ton of awesome shooters. The Canadians, tricky with their stick, and that's something we try to prepare for as a defense all week, watching the film. So I think that played a big part in it. Just watch film, look for you know, things that they were looking for, shot placement, and I just stood and saw the ball and just reacted pretty much.
Jack, I wonder if it makes you particularly happy when you sit here in overtime and you see your guy win the faceoff and you got the ball right away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge relief, you know, coming off that face because, you know, I'm sitting there, bent over, you know, watching the game, maybe a couple of prayers going out, and once that, you know, that ball's in their net, it's a huge relief.
Please don't let it go unnoticed in your publications. Vermont, Coach Curtis, those guys are doing a great job. That's a wonderful team. Those guys did a wonderful job. Honestly, that's a talented lacrosse team with a lot of offensive power.
Speaking of, you guys came out really strong out of the gate, scoring a lot, 6-1 up after the first quarter.
Right.
And then towards the end of the first half and beginning of the second half, you kind of lost a little bit of momentum and didn't recover till like the end of the game. So can you just speak about that a little?
Yeah, I mean, there's flows to every game. I mean, you almost feel it when you go to these sporting events, whether you're, you know, going at a basketball game or a football game or soccer, whatever it may be. There's flows in the game, and you can't let the highs be too high, and you can't let the lows be too low. You kind of have to stay even keeled. I know that's funny for me to say when you guys see me jumping around on the sidelines at times, but you got to stay even keeled because you never know. I mean, if I had to tell you that we were going to call a timeout with 34 seconds to go to put in a game-tying play, just to put it in overtime, you know, we got to be prepared for that. We can't emotionally just get detached from the game. And Sam and Josh made a, you know, that goal was just as big as VB's goal at the end because VB doesn't score the game winner without Sam and Josh making that game-tying. And so you got to handle some of those lulls in the game. And when you're down, you play hard. And when you're up, sometimes you get complacent. Thank you for your
Anything
coverage.
else? Thank you.
Please.